Witam wszystkich bardzo serdecznie na streamie z prezentacji Futures Games Show, które wypada akurat na wiosnę 2021. Przed chwilą oglądaliśmy sobie też BAFTY, gdzieś tam na kanale na playliście Archiwum Live na pewno i na też playliście, bo chyba BAFTA ma swoją oddzielną playlistę, bo tam już ze 3 razy oglądałem te rozdania, znajdziecie tam ten stream. Też na tym Twitch Gaming trwa ten stream afterpartowy, tam widziałem na pewno był wywiad z Neilem Druckmannem. Teraz jest jeszcze z aktorką, która grała Judy, co jeszcze tam było, nie wiem, ja to sobie pewnie obejrzę gdzieś tam w wolnej chwili na tym Twitchu. W każdym razie dzisiaj zobaczymy sobie ponad 40 nowych gier. Nie na pewno jakoś dużych gier, raczej od mniejszych wydawców. Ma być z większych wydawców EA i Warner Bros. Generalnie. Plus tam jeszcze innych parę. SEGA ma być, nie wiem kto jeszcze. Także raczej mniejsze gry, indyczki, znaczy niekoniecznie może indyczki, ale to nie są takie, wiecie, blockbustery i tak dalej, także ja się wiele nie spodziewam. Mam nadzieję, że to też nie potrwa jakoś bardzo długo, tak gdzieś do godziny, bo no wolałbym się trochę bardziej wyspać. A mówię, podejrzewam, że to nie będzie taka ciekawa konferencja jak BAFTY, bo na BAFTach siedziało mi się bardzo przyjemnie mi się to oglądało. Teraz może być już trochę gorzej, generalnie jeśli o to chodzi. To wiesz, odpalam na szybko tego Twitcha, bo jestem ciekaw, bo to tak trochę im się te schedule na nadpisują. Generalnie. Oj, przepraszam. Przepraszam bardzo. Nie wiem, no już z godziny tego afterparty jest. Ja sobie w ogóle też poszedłem obejrzeć mecz Polski. Generalnie. No i zremisowali 3-3, jakby ktoś chciał wiedzieć, z Węgrami. Chociaż podobno do 60 minut w ogóle przegrywali 2-0, także dobrze, że chociaż ten remis udało uratować. Ale tak jak ich oglądałem przez pół godziny, grali fajnie, także gdzieś ten początek musiał kulawo przebiegać. Tam chyba w ogóle ten nowy selekcjoner zrobił potrójną zmianę. I ta potrójna zmiana właśnie przyniosła efekty. No szkoda, że się wygrać nie udało, ale lipka. Dobra, zmienimy już sobie może scenę. Tutaj mamy odliczanie właśnie Games Radarowe, bo to Games Radar ogólnie organizuje tą imprezę. Jestem ciekaw, czy to będzie pre-recorded. Raczej to będzie pre-recorded i liczę tak, no myślę, bardziej na pół godziny. No też, no nie, w sumie to nie ma szans, że to będzie pół godziny, bo jak ma być 40 gier na każdą grę, tak z 40, tak z 2-3 minuty, to z godzina spokojnie pęknie, może nawet więcej. No i zobaczymy, jak się bardzo będę nudzić, to być może skończymy wcześniej, bo no jutro mam ten konkurs, chociaż nie muszę wcześniej bardzo wstawać, ale wolałbym jednak jakoś się wyspać bardziej. W każdym razie odliczanko się kończy, zobaczmy. A i by the way, same prezentacje gier chyba zaczną się dopiero o 23. Teraz będzie jakieś pre-show.
It's about to get exciting.
Chyba że na pre-show jakieś takie dosłownie pomniejsze gry indie zapowiedzą, bo tam w niektórych artykułach było, że plus 40, w innych, że plus 30, to może jakoś tak to się podzieli.
Well, what are we waiting for?
No i też jestem ciekaw w sumie, czy będzie jakiś spam trailerami, czy tylko będą po prostu... czy będą jakieś pogadanki pomiędzy. 37 oryginalnych tytułów. 50 gier opublikowanych, wiele do jeszcze wyjścia. Okej. No dobra.
Welcome to the Future Game Show pre-show! Hi guys, I'm Stephanie Panicello, but you may better recognize me as Claire Redfield from Resident Evil 2. Luckily, I'm not on zombie duties today. Thank you, Leon. I'm really sorry though. I'm here to guide you through an exclusive first look at some exciting games from our friends at Daedalic Entertainment. The main show kicks off in just a few minutes, but why wait when we can dive into world exclusive reveals right now?
No dokładnie tak jak myślałem, jakieś pomniejsze tytuły będą wcześniej.
More about them and what they have in store.
Hi, my name is Carsten Fichtelmann. I am the CEO and founder of Daedalic Entertainment. Welcome to our offices in beautiful Hamburg, Germany.
Być może to będzie podzielone na wydawców, jeżeli tak, to nawet spoko. To może to będzie taki trochę bardziej spam tymi trailerami.
In the office, alone. Daedalic is now in its 15th year as a developer and publisher. over the course of this time, our studio has created a long list of original games, from classical adventure games like Edna and Harvey, The Whispered World and the Deponia series, to the tactical RPG Blackhearts and the interactive adaptation of Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth.
Mam kupioną tą grę, muszę koniecznie zagrać w te filary ziemi. Nie wiedziałem, że to oni, ale się zaczynałem domyśleć po chwili. I muszę w tą grę zagrać, też była ostatnio w ankiecie tutaj na kanale, ale to jeszcze w kolejce jest zapewne za Tell Me Why i za wszystkimi Life is Strange'ami. I mi się rozładował aparat, także za chwilę wymienię akumulator.
We will enter the world of Middle-earth with our new action adventure, The Lord of the Rings Gollum. Our goal is to take this fascinating character and tell a story that offers a new perspective on this familiar tale while being faithful to the wonderful work of J.R.R. Tolkien. The game will be released in 2022. We are very excited to give you a first sneak peek at the end of this showcase today. Working as a development studio has also influenced our direction as a publisher. We understand developers and what matters most to them. That is why the teams we work with always have full creative control over their games, as we try to do our best to help them realize their vision. We are always looking for fresh and innovative new experiences, games that engage players in deep storylines like The Suicide of Rachel Foster, or challenge their strategic abilities like in Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, or Iratus, Lord of the Dead. Or connect players all over the world in fast-paced multiplayer action like Barotrauma, Witched, or Unrailed, a game that you can play anywhere with anyone all over the world on PC and the consoles via crossplay. We are excited to share with you what comes next in our journey. Today we will provide you a closer look at some of the games coming in 2021 and beyond, new reveals and surprises along the way. One of the most beloved games, Shadow Tactics, from Mimimi Games, is celebrating its 5-year anniversary this December. Shadow Tactics took players to Japan during the Edo period. With a group of 5 skilled specialists, you fight on behalf of the Shogun in a game that reinvigorated the hardcore tactical stealth genre. We're happy to announce our plans to return to Japan later this year. Take a look.
No i dobra, to jest pierwszy reveal. Ja za bardzo klimatów japońskich nie lubię, to tak meh.
How do you do it, huh? How can you act like nothing happened?
I was forced to master my emotions at a very young age. Now, shall we begin?
Let's finish this. Ready when you are.
Ready, Aiko-san.
Okej, no czyli mamy jakieś DLC do tego Shadow Tactics. Nawet standalone DLC.
Aiko's Choice is a standalone expansion for Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, coming late in 2021, and you can wishlist it now on Steam. From the beauty of Japan, we now head to the bottom of the ocean, where horror lurks in the shadows, and every step you take may be your last.
Czyli chyba pre-show będzie w ogóle od tego wydawcy, tego Dedalic Entertainment. Gdyby nie te pilary ziemi, Kena jakiegoś tam, to bym w ogóle o nich nie słyszał. Tak to, no słyszałem, bo kupiłem ich jedną grę, ale nie grałem w nią, także... Niestety kamerka się zawiesiła, także sorry. tak jak myślałem, wywaliło mi kartę Wi-Fi, także chwila.
If you're feeling brave enough, Hidden Deep is coming to early access in May. Wishlisted on Steam today to stay up to date on the latest developments. I'll let you in on a little secret. When I grow up, I want to be an android bounty hunter. You know, fast cars, crazy weapons, and endless villains to use them on. Luckily for me, this next game makes all those dreams come true.
Are gang disputes keeping you up at night?
Do you want to love good?
Hi, my name is Maciej. I'm the lead developer of Dark Lord, and today I will show
O, proszę, mamy coś od Polaków.
you will get a sneak peek into the
Zdecydowanie. Coś cyberpunkowego. How bizarre. Mam nadzieję, że się nie będzie dalej zacinać to.
brainwashed Ordo fanatics, an anarchistic biker gang called Reapers, and working class.
Nie lubię takich gier z widokiem z góry. W stylu pierwszych GTA, także to nie dla mnie. No ale jako, że Polacy robią to propsy.
The police already
Kurde mać, tylko czemu się zacina stream? Proszę działać mi tu normalnie, nie zacinać się. Dlaczego mogłoby się to zacinać? No jakieś problemy, ale chyba, a może nie, no nie z moim internetem, bo stream ten działa normalnie.
knows that something's very wrong on the
No, mam nadzieję,
streets of
że to się
Bolivia.
uforuje i będzie lepiej.
Might soon show up. But if everything goes well, we will see this contract finished, earning some extra cash and perhaps a new tech. In Glitchpunk, your character progresses through new modules that give you new hacks, new abilities, and passive stat increases. It allows you to mess with pedestrians, gang members, and police officers in all sorts of ways. Instead of fighting solo against a group of enemies, it might be a good idea to start up a fight between gangs and police. Hacking system and branching storyline are the major features of the game. Right after this mission, there is a chance to push the story into one of two possible directions. All of that adds to the replayability of the game. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation.
Oczywiście te słowo punk, żeby wyszukiwania na Steamie były high up przy cyberpunku.
For cyberpunk carnage and sandbox action across multiple cities, you can wishlist Glitchpunk on Steam right now. Dedelic Entertainment is well known for their point-and-click adventure pedigree, and our next game continues that tradition. So open your inventory and prepare yourself for a brand new announcement.
No na pewnie z 10 gier nam odpadnie w tym pre-show, generalnie. No a później pewnie zostanie nam te 30 gier, tylko podejrzewam, no z godzinę pewnie to całość potrwa. Czyli skończymy gdzieś koło północy. Trochę mi to nie pasuje, no ale... To ma być niby jakaś przygodówka point and click, ale stylistycznie mi się nie bardzo podoba. Chociaż no tutaj już wygląda trochę lepiej, tam ten wstęp nie wygląda jakoś super zacnie. A to już bardziej mi się podoba. No nawet przyjemne, nie wygląda źle. Life of Delta. Mógłbym zawishlist... A, nawet sobie zapiszę, może zawishlistuję to na Steamie, zawsze to twórcom trochę pomoże. Wishlistujcie gry, które wam się podobają.
That beautiful sci-fi adventure is coming to PC and consoles early next year. Okay, you're going to need a co-partner you can rely on in our next game, as two racers are connected by elastic. That's right, elastic. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out in this brand new announcement.
World premiere.
So close, so close.
Oh, Ash! Okay, you gotta pick a side. Ash!
Jazz, you started on the left and then you went right, Jazz.
You went-
That is on you.
Oh no!
Hello, grab on
Okay, we got
Jazz.
it. Oh, this is like Sarlacc. All right, jump! Oh, we got balloons. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, he was
Whoa! All right, grab onto it, push it. Yep. All right, let's go.
Good lord, get off of us!
To jest fajne na jakieś streamy. Jakby na przykład jakaś fajna ekipa na jakimś drunk streamie w to grała, o, to by było fajne.
Serious biz now. All right?
Siema Mufasa, siema.
Serious Bumblebee here, yo. I don't know about you.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah!
Oh, they're gonna get it.
It's bee time!
By like a second. By like a second.
That was only a tiny peek. To watch the full video, you can check out the Stumped YouTube channel after our show. Fling to the finished releases in the second half of 2021, and you and your friends can wishlist it on Steam today. Next up, I want you to imagine a strategy game designed by medieval monks. Yeah, medieval monks. I bet you weren't expecting to hear those words in today's show. This game is one of a kind, so let's take a look.
Jestem ciekaw jak stylistycznie, no na pewno będzie generalnie wyglądać podobnie do tych właśnie z tego jak to było robione w średniowieczu.
Pourquoi les escargots combattent les chevaliers?
Why do rabbits have swords and fight against dogs?
The thing is, these illuminations are not decorations.
Ce sont des vestiges d'un ancien rituel, le rituel que nous ne connaissons pas, mais qui existait à l'époque.
A nie podoba mi się. Nie bardzo to wygląda. Jaka czcionka nie do przeczytania, what the fuck. Inculinati? Dobrze to czytam chyba.
Let the battle commence. Inculinati hits PC later in 2021, so make sure to get it wishlisted on Steam. We revealed the first details of Lord of the Rings Gollum at the Future Games Show last August, and today we're excited to take.
To jest chyba jedna z większych gier. Tam widziałem, że chyba sporo osób na to czeka. Ciekawe, że to na pre-show pokazują.
World premiere.
Mustn't see us. No, don't look at us. The precious is gone.
Oto się napokazywali. No dobra, to wiemy dlaczego było w pre-show.
And that wraps up our pre-show. From ninjas in feudal Japan to the darkest corners of Middle Earth, I hope you've enjoyed these sneak peeks and reveals. A huge thanks to Daedalic and all the developers who showed off their awesome titles. For updates on all of today's games, you can follow Daedalic Entertainment on Steam. I've been your host, Stephanie Panicello, and it is time for me to hand over to some other Resident Evil friends for the Future Games Show. Take it away!
No i teraz tak naprawdę zaczyna się właściwa część dzisiejszego streama. Tak naprawdę. No mam nadzieję, że chociaż coś ciekawego będzie. Niby już tam 2 gry mam jakieś otwarte na Steamie, ale mam nadzieję, że będzie tego więcej i będzie można coś połyszlistować później.
Hello and welcome to the Future Game Show. I'm Nicole Tompkins, though you may know me as Jill Valentine in Resident Evil 3. And today, we have an absolute monster of a show for you. And if I've learned anything about monsters, it's that they're best tackled with a partner. So please join me in welcoming my co-host, Jeff Shine.
Hey Nicole, and hey everybody at home watching. My name is Jeff Shine, but you might recognize me as Carlos Oliveira from Resident Evil 3. Nick, I feel pretty good about this. I feel like it's nice to get the team back together.
We do make a good team. Though, I mean, hopefully today's a little bit more even-handed, because I tend to do most of the heavy lifting, fighting Nemesis like 16 times, getting the subway back on.
I hate to butt into the main show, but I think I had it pretty tough in Resident Evil 2. 2 words for you. Mr. X.
That's fair.
The important thing
Ja w ogóle nie znam tych Resident Evilów, także no się nie wypowiem. Okej, czyli godzina. Okej.
PC and console for 2021 and beyond with some exclusive trailers and developer interviews.
World premieres, exclusive trailers, and a few surprises in store.
Let's kick off with our first world premiere, and I want you guys to wrap up, get warm, because things are about to get chilly.
I gdzieś mi wywala kartę Wi-Fi, nie wiem dlaczego. Bo znowu rozłączyło kamerkę.
So, any word on Kai? Or his supposed crash?
Don't, please. Nobody's ruled it a crash anyway. They said it just vanished.
I don't know, sis. Once is bad luck. Twice, well...
It's that damned robot. Always watching him. It's enough to drive anyone nuts.
Yeah, well, short drive at least. Anyway.
To ma strasznie vibe'y tego, Firewatcha. Jeżeli to ma vibe'y Firewatcha, bardzo mi się podoba.
You don't think he couldn't have...
Ja coś czuję, że to może być od twórców Firewatcha, bo też mamy jakiś motyw gadania przez jakieś radio, czy telefon, czy coś.
Not really.
I stylistycznie bardzo podobnie i bardzo ładnie przede wszystkim.
Little Charlie and Amelia, though. They've been through so much already.
Maybe they're better off without him.
That's what Kai said the last time we talked, but...
Let's face it, the little brother's pretty messed up. And who the hell knows where it really is right now.
Arctic Awakening. Jestem ciekaw, kto to robi. Jestem ciekaw, czy to ci sami, co robili Firewatcha. No ale co na pewno zapiszę.
Hi, I'm James Simpson, director at Goldfire Studios, and we're working on a game called Arctic Awakening. Arctic Awakening is an episodic narrative adventure game about the survivors of a plane crash in the unforgiving Arctic winter. Their story is one of survival, friendship, self-discovery, and the mysteries they encounter along the way.
Ej, to wygląda zajebiście, że nawet nie ma strony na Steamie, właśnie wpisałem w Google, ale...
2062, and you play as Kai, an ex-Navy pilot who has retreated into isolation after recent traumatic events upend his life. He now finds himself in unknown territory with a missing co-pilot and only an AI drone to keep him company. Today, we're really excited to share this exclusive gameplay from shortly after the crash. Kai is desperate to find Donovan, but the AI drone isn't about to let him just wander off into a blizzard without first starting a fire. Part of Alfie's job is never letting Kai out of his sight, and this tends to get under Kai's skin. Much of Arctic Awakening revolves around exploring the beautiful open world and uncovering the mysteries that lie within. However, the choices you make, or don't make, through your actions and fully voiced conversations directly impact how Kai's relationships with the other characters evolve.
Ej, ta gra wygląda zajebiście. Nie spodziewałem się. To nie od twórców, okej. Nawet jeżeli nie jest to od twórców Firewatcha, to... 2022, szkoda. Ale kurde, ta gra wygląda przezajebiście.
At Arctic Awakening.
Okay, Jeff, imagine being stuck in the same place in an endlessly looping cycle.
Oh, Nicole, that is my entire 2020.
Well, then
O, dobra, ta gra była pokazywana na... Boże, jak to się nazywa? Co PlayStation robi? Returnal, o, właśnie. A to było pokazywane na State of Play, o. A ta gra mi się kompletnie nie podoba, jakby,
Hello, my name is Mikael Haveri, and I am the Biz Dev and Marketing Director at Housemarque. Currently we're working on Returnal. Returnal, in a nutshell, is a fast-paced sci-fi shooter with roguelike elements, and as a new addition to Housemarque, we're adding a layer of narrative storytelling.
That can't be here.
In Returnal, you take on the role of Celine. Celine is a deep space astro scout that crash lands on a planet called Atropos. On this planet, she quickly realizes that she's stuck in a never-ending nightmarish loop, that always upon her death, she wakes up in the same place, but the world has changed and all the challenges that she has to face are different. At the focus of the game, we have a very tight gameplay loop where you dash, jump around, shoot at enemies with lots of tentacles coming at you. There are also a lot of bullet hell elements, so fast-paced maneuvering, dodging, and running and gunning is the main focus of the game. But there are also lots of the storytelling layers that Celine finds out about in a non-linear fashion. So as you make your way through Atropos, you find out who your main character is, what is the sort of deepest secret that she's trying to answer, and also how this planet ties into the whole bigger picture and who are actually the inhabitants of this mysterious planet. Overall, we at Housemarque are looking forward to bringing you a very exciting and frenetic shooter experience, and Returnal will be hitting PlayStation 5s on April the 30th this year. So looking forward to having the game out there. Hope you enjoy.
Nie podoba mi, ja w ogóle nie lubię shooterów i ogólnie gra mi się nie podoba strasznie, ale... Plus tych gier teraz z motywem tego Dnia Świstaka to jest po prostu od nasrania po prostu.
PlayStation.
Thanks to Housemarque for taking us through the game. Returnal is coming exclusively to PlayStation 5 on April 30th.
Our next game is a love letter to JRPGs.
O dobra, no i w końcu się zaczyna coś, co nie jest w sumie dużą grą. Wow, ja się nie spodziewałem, że to będzie z takimi dużymi tytułami generalnie zacięte. Znaczy pierwszy tytuł nie był duży, ale mi się podobał, może to bardziej chciałem powiedzieć. No JRPG to nie, w ogóle nie dla mnie, nie. Chociaż ta stylistyka jeszcze może być.
Been having these strange dreams. I think it's a memory of my mother from long ago. We need to hurry up. We have to stop her. I do feel a connection. There's something there.
I am Wilhelm the Wise. You, it seems, are a time mage. As am I. And while my powers have led to my youthful appearance, yours are the gift to see possibility.
Who are you supposed to be?
Hello, my name is...
Tell me if we survive. You know how to fight? Hold your ground. They won't get past us.
So many questions. Matthias the Frog, at your service. I have been keeping an eye on you for some time now. I suspected you had been chosen, my dear. It appears I was correct.
This will serve as a good opportunity for me to demonstrate my capabilities. I am certain I was created with a purpose. I wish to discover what it was. We'll have time for your banter later. Let's move forward.
Hold on. You have a talking frog? And you didn't mention it? A talking frog is like in my top 5 animals I want to meet.
głośny jest w ogóle ten trailer. Tak bardzo głośny. Jezus Maria, dobra, okej. No w każdym razie nie dla mnie so much.
Chris Tales is coming to consoles and PC in July this year.
Now, back in 2015, Axiom Verge blew us away with
No i teraz się zaczyna już pewnie parę minut, no mniej ciekawych gier.
and the work of just one developer, so prepare to feel very lazy in comparison.
Hello, I'm Tom Happ, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my upcoming game, Axiom Verge 2. But first, a quick trip down memory lane. For anyone not familiar with the first Axiom Verge, here's a very brief synopsis. The story was a sci-fi adventure in which you play as Trace, a scientist who winds up in the world of Sudra. His mind is preserved by machines, and every time he dies, his memories are transferred into a new, cloned body. It's a love letter to some of my favorite games growing up, including Metroid, Blaster Master, Contra, and many more. When I crafted the story, I made sure to think deeply about the entire universe of Axiom Verge. How did it come to be? How is it related to our world? I ultimately decided to break the full story of the Axiom Verge universe into multiple parts, with multiple perspectives, each intended to be its own game. And now, the next chapter is ready to be revealed. I don't want to spoil things too much, but most of Axiom Verge 2 is set before the events of Axiom Verge 1. But they're each standalone, complementary experiences.
Szanuję za klawiaturkę, bo to jest K70 od Corsarza, którą też mam.
In Axiom Verge 2, you play as Indra, the mysterious billionaire behind the worldwide Globe 3 conglomerate. Hiding in Antarctica is what appears to be an ancient, alternate Earth, complete with mountains, lakes, deserts, and the ruins of a civilization. But you get the feeling that something else is lurking just past the fringes of reality, waiting to pull you in. Although Axiom Verge 1 and 2 flesh out different parts of the same overall universe, their mechanics are quite different. The games share the same DNA, and fans of the first game will definitely feel right at home in this one. But make no mistake, this isn't just an iteration of the gameplay you saw in the first game. It is a complementary piece of the overall puzzle that is Axiom Verge. Now,
no jeżeli jedna osoba w ogóle wymyśliła całe uniwersum i tak dalej, no to nieźle, ale nie lubię bardzo pixel artu i też tego typu gier też nie.
Even mentioning that there are spoilers is itself a spoiler. But one thing that has not changed is that there are tons of hidden areas for you to explore and mysteries to find. So if you really like the feeling of figuring out deeply hidden secrets, I think you'll love Axiom Verge 2. Be sure to keep an eye out for Axiom Verge 2 when it launches on the Epic Games Store and Nintendo Switch this spring.
Thanks again to Tom for that guided tour. Axiom Verge 2 is due out on PC and Switch later in 2021.
This next game is what I'm all about. 60 ninjas enter. Only one ninja leaves.
Are you going to be that one ninja?
If I study this exclusive gameplay, anything's possible. Behold, Naraka, Blade Point.
Szczerze myślałem, że trochę szybciej będę u tym lecie. Jeżeli każda gra dostaniesz takie jakieś commentary, to kurde, to długo potrwa ta cała prezentacja. Okej, no mamy coś w klimatach japońskich, też nie bardzo dla mnie. Niczym Terraria, no znaczy to nie jest na pewno Terraria, no stylistycznie trochę podobno, pixel art tak, ale to strasznie zalatuje Sekiro. Tylko że multi. Fajnie ten gameplay wygląda. Tylko to jest no coś multiplayer i to też już automatycznie jakby skreśla tę grę dla mnie tak naprawdę. A i tak podejrzewam, że jakaś bardzo popularna to ona nie będzie. Jeżeli tam dobrze słyszałem, to taki Battle Royale, tylko że na 16 graczy. Pewnie będą jakieś różne klasy postaci i tak dalej. No i zamiast strzelania, znaczy strzelań też będzie, ale też będzie walka bezpośrednia wręcz. No przyjemnie wygląda, ale no nie wiem, czy to zyska jakąś większą popularność, zobaczymy.
Naraka Blade Point is developed by 24 Entertainment and is due to grapple hook onto PC this coming summer.
Next up is an open-world action-adventure that took Kickstarter by storm back in 2019. And once you've seen it in action, you'll understand why. Here's Weston Tracy with an exclusive new look at Savior.
No, coś pixelartowe, czyli znowu do odstrzału, że tak powiem.
Hi, I'm Weston, the director of the upcoming action-adventure game Savior. In Savior, you play as Sam, a stranger with no possessions and no memory. As you explore, you'll discover your origin and your place among the characters you meet. You'll have to either battle, evade, or persuade your opponents into joining you in order to rebuild the broken world of Arcadia. At its core, there are three things that make Savior special. First is the combat system. It was inspired by playing years of Punch-Out on the NES. So you and many of your opponents have the ability to strike, dodge, and parry, which adds realistic strategy not really found in the genre. Opponents strike fast, but they all telegraph their strikes, so you'll learn their attack patterns and surely best them over time. The early enemies don't block so well, so you can kind of button mash your way through. But as you progress, you'll need to watch for telegraphs and time your dodges, blocks, and counters carefully. Things get dicier when two opponents attack at once. They'll always try to surround you, and it's best not to let them. Next is movement. Sam runs and jumps like many other 2D action game characters, but she does much more. With our addition of parkour, especially the ledge grab, she bounds through the terrain with a unique and satisfying fluidity. The dozens of
fajnie animacje są zrobione. Biorąc pod uwagę, że to pixel art, to naprawdę wygląda świetnie.
Just running around is fun. Arcadia is a land divided. The Chosen have lived under the rule of their deity for 1,000 years. They are led by the laws of the Creed, which dictates all areas of Arcadian life, especially the punishment for doubt or challenge. Any who oppose the Creed are banished and dropped into the depths of the planet. They are known as the Fallen. But the Fallen survived their banishment. They explored their underground home where they thrived. But the Chosen and the Fallen have been divided too long. It's up to you to reunite them. All of us at Starsoft are working tirelessly to bring Savior to Steam and Nintendo Switch in winter of 2022. We hope you'll add Savior to your wish list on Steam.
Łopanie, to jeszcze no rok, no półtora roku w sumie. Dużo.
Savior is coming to PC and Switch in winter 2022. Our next game opened the very first Future Game Show and had us itching to see more ever since. Please welcome Team Kill Media with a new slice of action from their console horror shooter, Quantum Error.
No i znowu shooterek jakiś, też nie dla mnie. Ale na Unreal przynajmniej zrobią, to będzie pewnie ładnie wyglądać. A jak? Tak szczerze, ten gameplay i to strzelanie to nie wygląda jakoś zabójczo fascynująco. To strasznie Mass Effectem zalatuje. Tak, oj, bardzo, bardzo. No bardzo powolny ten gameplay, to takie w dzisiejszych czasach strasznie rzadko spotykane. Nie podoba mi się za bardzo. Gra ładnie wygląda, ale tak poza tym to... Dziwna ta gra. Wolna strasznie, ale ładnie wygląda. 4 minuty. Boż. Jeżeli my tak na każdą grę się będziemy rozwijać, to kurde zajmie ze 2 godziny.
The next exclusive trailer is unlike anything you've seen before. It's a playable metal album where the action brings the lyrics to life. Here's the newest trailer.
Jeżeli jest metal, to ja szanuję.
Product not yet rated.
To przyjemny motywik był.
Begging to be heard, I'm begging to say the truth of what happened. Just listen and stay. My only witness is running away. Now she's my lifeline, now she's my prey. Dirty and dizzy man chasing a kid. I know how it looks. Her dad won't be thrilled, but they have to help me. I'm not asking much, just say she was saved from the car. Heroes rage, a wolf and a raven encaged. Tonight we stand the weak, become elders in shadows we hide. Black fur and black feathers, united to fight for our
Fajne. Zajebiste.
We can exclusively announce that Ofbird and Cage launches for PC on May 20th, and PS4, Xbox One, and Switch later this year. You can wishlist the game right now on Steam. Our next game...
Myślę, że będzie wishlistowane.
Like when I fight Nemesis and you shout advice.
O nie, to jest gra od twórców A Way Out. Jak ja czekałem na grę właśnie od Joyce'a Ferriersa po A Way Out, ja liczyłem na jakąś świetną grę, a oni pokazali to.
My name is Joseph Forrest, and I'm the founder and writer director at Hazelight Studios. And Brothers A Tale of Two Sons, A Way Out, and now the new game coming out March 26th, It Takes Two. Actually, what we do at Hazelight is actually quite unique. What I mean by that is that we're creating co-op experiences that are written and designed from the beginning, from the start, like that. You do have co-op games out there, but none that are created like this in a narrative way. These are not drop in, drop out, which means that we can create unique experiences and unique stories that's very... there are situations in this game, I would say, that's almost have a physical connection to the player as well. It's also something I think is underestimated what you can do creatively.
How comes you get all the cool gadgets?
Nie, żadnego Battlefielda 6 nie było. Nie wiem, czy będzie, szczerze, trochę wątpię, żeby tutaj jej się zdecydowało na prezentację. Ale może, nie wiem. Ale na razie nic nie było.
That's a metaphor for attraction. So whatever happens in the story will be reflected in the gameplay. Even an example like this, in this case they are in a tree, and the male character, the clay character Cody, he forgot to clean the hive, so in real life obviously. So right now the squirrels that live in that tree are in war with the wasps, and you actually use the squirrels' high-tech weapons to take out the wasps. So and as you see, May can shoot matches and he can shoot sap, and when you combine those you create an explosion. So again, it's a unique mechanic for every character that kind of connects to the story. That's why I keep saying whatever you meet in the story, whatever happens, you'll be playing it. This is just some example. What you're seeing here is just the mechanic for this level, and you will be doing different things for every level you play, and whatever happens in the story, you will be playing it. If you buy the game and you play it in a couch and you play with a friend for free, then it should be the same for you if you play it online. It wouldn't be fair just because your friend can play with you in the couch, this person have to pay double the price. You know what I mean? From that perspective, Friends Pass came up because it makes sense.
To jest akurat fajne, właśnie gry koopowe tak powinny być dystrybuowane, że jakby kupuje się teraz dwie kopie, można to dać dla jakiegoś znajomego i grać razem z nim.
It's going to be such a wild ride to play this game. It's going to be such a unique experience from the beginning to the end, and it's going to be a joy and adventure. I can't wait to look at some reactions when the players stream this and play this, because I know there will be definitely some really cool reactions, especially on some scenes, and especially one scene that I think is gonna be quite special.
You feel it? Ha! Ha! Ha!
All right, so the game is coming out on March 26th. It will be on
dosłownie jutro, a dosłownie nawet za pół godziny.
Xbox One, Xbox X, Series X, and I don't know. But not Switch for now. We don't have any plan for it now. Who knows in the future, maybe. But other than that, all future console and next gen.
You'll be able to take advantage of Friends Pass when It Takes Two launches on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC tomorrow on March 26th.
Our next game is like Cyberpunk meets Sherlock Holmes as you crack cases in virtual worlds. Are you ready to play Digital Detective in Game Deck?
To też może być fajne. Zobaczymy, jak będzie stylistyka gry. Gotowa premiera.
It's a strange profession. Game deck. You're neither a player nor a detective. You know the rules and how people break them. How they leave a digital trail. And there is always a trail. A flaw in the source code. Backdoors used by cheaters. Anonymity skins. Used to cover up on.
Jeżeli ta gra będzie wyglądać tak jak tutaj, że to nie jest cinematic trailer, to będzie bardzo fajna.
All can be traced.
Przynajmniej pod względem wyglądu.
With a lot of skill and a little bit of luck. Sometimes more than a little. Because there are surprises, even for a game deck. But in the end, you keep your eyes on the prize. The trail never gets cold. And so the game is always on.
Fajno, zapisujemy.
Game Deck is coming to PC September 16th, 2021, and you can wishlist it on Steam right now.
Nicole, question. Do you think you got what it takes to be a firefighter?
Yes.
You want to maybe test those skills out in a game before trying anything dangerous?
Also yes.
Well, then let me introduce you to Ember.
No i mamy przejście na nieco mniejszą gierkę.
As a firefighter, food delivery person, or a courier, Ember hits consoles with cross-play functionality.
Na chwilę odejdę do kompa, także za chwilę wracam.
Rescue together. Escape together. Deliver together. Boss fight together. And salvage together. Risking your life for money has never been more rewarding. Ember, launching summer 2021.
Ember is out now on PC.
Dobrze, chociaż teraz to szybko poszło. O wow, na stali coś wychodzi.
Our next game takes one of the best detective adventures of recent years and makes it prettier and puzzlier, yes, that's a word, than ever before. This is Kathy Rain, the director's cut.
Znowu jakieś pixelartowe chyba coś.
And I am delighted to be here at the Future Game Show to talk to you about Kathy Rain, director's cut. This is a game that excites me a whole lot because, well, first I play Kathy in it, but also because the director's cut is an
O nie, dobra, zdecydowanie nie jest to pixel art i wygląda fajnie.
For those of you who have been missing out, let me fill you in on the details. So, Kathy Rain is a point-and-click adventure.
O dobra, jednak nie. to dzisiaj jeden styl.
Strong-willed journalism major, that's me, who is forced to confront her troubled past as she investigates the mysterious death of her
Szkoda, że w pixelarcie.
grandfather.
Mi się nie podoba strasznie.
Armed with her motorcycle, a pack of cigs, and a notepad, Kathy delves into a local mystery surrounding her hometown that takes her on a harrowing journey of emotional and personal turmoil. The director's cut features an extended story with more puzzles to solve and new areas to explore. There's also an expanded and remixed soundtrack, cool new bike designs to unlock, controller support, and more. It's been almost 5 years now since Kathy was first shared with the world, and we've taken everything we've learned to give you the most complete realization of Kathy's journey yet. I, for one, love being a part of this project, and I can't wait for you all to get on the Catmobile when we launch this fall on Steam for Windows, Mac, and Linux.
Szkoda, że w pixelarcie. Naprawdę, bo inaczej to by było bardzo dla mnie przyjemne, a tak to, no ten pixel art mnie po prostu odrzuca strasznie.
Thanks to Ariel for showing us Kathy Rain, the director's cut.
Gdyby to było w takiej stylistyce, ale brałbym normalnie jak nie wiem co.
For a sneak peek at what's in store from our pals at Team 17. Oh, how many hours have I spent playing worms over the years?
I once fought giant mutant worms in a sewer.
It's a very different vibe, Nicole. It's a very different vibe.
Okay, czyli coś od twórców Wormsów. O, chyba mamy jakiś taki zbiorczy pokaz. Jestem ciekaw, czy to się wlicza w te 40 gier, które tu miały być pokazane. Jeżeli tak, to dobrze, może przeskipujemy parę, tak o. No w sumie w teorii to jeszcze jakieś 20 minut zostało, także... King of Sea, aka Sea of Thieves, tylko nie. Tak, to zdecydowanie jest taki zbiorczy pokaz wszystkiego, co te Team 17 wydaje. I bardzo dobrze.
Is this thing on? Oh, it is? Good. This is the cult leader. I'm interrupting this broadcast to invite you all to submit to me. Submit your application to become my new cult architect when, honey, I joined the cult enter Steam Early Access. We are not a dangerous organization. In fact, we're all about the safe sex.
Nieźle, honey, I joined a cult. Szkoda, że nie I accidentally joined a cult. Tytuł jednego z epizodów podcastu Polion Prasego, którego teraz niestety nie możecie w internecie znaleźć ze względu na pewne zawiłości prawne i tocząc się proces o ochronę, znaczy o opiekę nad dziećmi, ale to swoją drogą. Ale polecam.
Coming from Team 17 over the coming weeks and months. For more info on them, check out gamesradar.com.
15 games in, and we finally get to fight some zombies.
Kurwa, połowa gier dopiero chyba.
You up for some co-op play, Jeff?
I don't know.
Wow. To jest trochę potrwa chyba.
Yeah, you're right. Lucky for me, I've got developers.
A jeszcze wykorzystując okazję, to zapraszam was bardzo serdecznie do linku w opisie, tam się znajduje moja gra Devlife, możecie już teraz kupić na Steamie. Niedługo będzie duży update z interaktywnymi eventami, w których będą wybory, będzie historie, różne, taki emergent gameplay dosyć spory i zapraszam bardzo serdecznie. To niestety jakiś koopowy shooter. Nie lubią.
Hello, I'm Leanne Papp, and I'm the executive producer at Turtle Rock Studios. Right now we're working on Back 4 Blood, which is a first-person co-op zombie shooter that takes place after a catastrophic outbreak where most people have either died or have been infected by what we're calling the devil worm. In this game, you're part of a group of veterans that we refer to as the Cleaners, who are ready to take the fight back to the zombies, which we call the Ridden.
They're gluttons for punishment today.
This is alpha footage that stars 4 of our 8 cleaners. We've got Walker, Evangelo, Hoffman, and Holly. And as you watch the footage, you're going to see that we have a lot of different kinds of Ridden. We've got some base special Ridden like the Tall Boy and the Stinger, and then there are also mutated versions of them as well. But we've got something that's especially special for us that we're very much into and very excited about, and we feel that this is bringing something new to the genre. We have our Ogre. He is this massive mutated Ridden that rises from the ground, and in that moment you have to decide if you're going to face off against this tanky character or run away and face him when you're better equipped.
Oh, this is not good!
Tą grę gdzieś już wcześniej widziałem na jakiejś prezentacji, nie pamiętam na czym generalnie, ale kojarzę ją. Chyba dokładnie ten sam gameplay był pokazany, przynajmniej ten moment, ta okolica.
Is it just me or are these things getting bigger?
We've got the elements that you want out in a cooperative zombie shooter, so you can gather up with your 3 friends and you're going to be taking out a bunch of Ridden. But we're also adding some roguelite elements with our card system that's actually pretty cool, and we think provides a different spin on it and provides even more replayability to the game. So we should definitely talk about our game director as well as our card system. You're going to be familiar with how we start off this game. You're going to start in a safe room with 3 of your friends, and the game director is going to play what we call corruption cards. You get to know what kind of challenges he's going to throw at you and your team by looking at what these cards are. They might be things like Swarm of Bruisers or Ridden on Fire. And you then get to know exactly what it is that you're going to face. So after you see those cards, you're then going to be given a hand from a deck that you've built. And you need to decide what cards you're going to play. Coordination with your team is going to be super key.
To ciekawe, taki quiz z tymi kartami. Nie będzie stricte shooter, ale też będzie właśnie trochę tych elementów, trochę gry karcianej.
Or you can even do something cool like
ciekawy pomysł.
Your team gets a burst of health when you get incapped. We're really excited to see what you and your friends do with your cards.
Gotta be something around here. There you are.
Back 4 Blood is coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, and PC. You're going to be able to play the game in the upcoming open beta on both PC and console. We're going to have more information on that soon, so stay tuned.
No, jakby ten spin z tymi kartami wydaje się być ciekawy, ale tak poza tym, no to shooter koopowy.
Ever wondered how it would feel to be a Warhammer miniature? Here's the world premiere of the new cinematic trailer for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Tempest Fall.
Dobra, coś teraz jeszcze ze świata Warhammera, nie interesuje się tym w ogóle.
Once mortal, we stood against enemies of order. Our souls, freed from the weakness of flesh, arrived at the gates of heavens, shaped by righteousness, reforged in thunder, clad in living armor. We come down among lightning to protect the mortal realms once more. We are Sigmar's wrath manifest. In his name, we wage war! are the Stormcast.
Siema Gieroj, jeżeli dobrze czytam. Witam.
You can step into the shoes of a Lord Arcanum when Tempestfall launches on Oculus and Steam this summer.
Na Oculusie?
Hey, Jeff, you remember the hospital
Ciekawe.
siege in Resident Evil 3?
Oh, how could I forget?
Well, this next bit is a little bit like that, except instead of zombies, I'm gonna throw loads of games at you.
Oh, that actually sounds way better.
O, dobra, czyli znowu mamy jakiś taki bulk generalnie tych wszystkich gier i bardzo dobrze. O, to z riskiem fajne. Przynajmniej z wyglądu. Czyli wydaje mi się, że jak robił taki zbiórczy pokaz, to myślę, że niedługo będziemy kończyć. Wiesz, Gieroj, coś tam się tego ruskiego niby uczy, 5 mam, także... Ale w ogóle nie umiem rosyjskiego, jakby, no szczególnie teraz podczas jakby lockdownu i zdalnej nauki nie jest problem sobie wrzucić coś w translator, nie, ale... No. Głośniej jest ten stream. Trochę mi aż to przeszkadza. Ciszę w sumie na interfejsie. Wam będzie nadal głośno, ale to nic nie poradzę. To wygląda nawet przyjemnie, te ending, aż sobie zapiszę, a co mi tam?
For more information on all those great games, make sure to check out GamesRadar.com.
Now, if you're looking for something more melodic than the sound of Jeff's voice, you should check out our next game, The Longest Road on Earth. Bonus fact, this trailer contains an exclusive performance of one of the tracks in the game. Enjoy.
Szkoda, że znowu pixel art. Czy dużo tego pixel artu.
100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go. On the way, gotta try. Dream of baby feels alright.
Ale muzyka bardzo przyjemna.
Alright. I've been walking for a while. There's 100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go. I've been running out of time. There's 100 miles left to go. 100 miles left to go.
Szkoda, że pixelartowe, naprawdę, ale nie jest źle. Chociaż nie kupię na pewno.
The Longest Road on Earth launches on PC later this year.
Our next game is an open-world survival simulator that put PC gamers through hell. Specifically, Green Hell.
O, coś do
There's
Green
an
Hella.
exciting new announcement
Ciekawe.
from the team at Creepy Jar.
To polska gra jest, chyba, o ile dobrze kojarzę. A, port na konsolę, okej.
Can you survive Green Hell? Find out when it comes to consoles in June this year.
This next game starred in our Gamescom show and tasks 2 cooperative spies to break into top secret locations.
Well, then it's a good thing I've partnered with Jill Valentine, huh? Master of unlocking.
Here's the latest news for Operation Tango.
Oh, we gotta work together?
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh dear, this is a recipe for disaster.
What did you do?
I'm gonna do it. You ready?
I'm nervous.
I'm in.
I'm very stealthy, thank you very much.
So I'm gonna need you to suck it up, Buttercup, and put that passcode in.
Your infiltration
Takie nie
begins
wiem
on
co o tym
consoles and
myśleć.
PC on June 1st.
Coming up next, we take a trip into one of the deadly
O nie, jak ja tej gry nie lubię. Ja pierdolę. Czemu oni ją ciągle pokazują wszędzie? Jak ja tej gry nie lubię, jak ona mi się nie podoba, nie wiem dlaczego, po prostu...
Oddworld, and I'm excited to be here at Future Games Show to bring you this abridged playthrough from Oddworld Soulstorm. At this point in the game, we're on a mission to hijack a train that we're told is at Fat Station.
And so with each level,
Ten Green Hell to on już jest trochę na rynku i no jest fajną grą generalnie, tak jak patrzyłem sobie trochę pooglądałem. Nie wiem jak się bardzo porównuje do The Forest, bo też dawno nie grałem w The Forest, nie wiem co tam się ewentualnie pozmieniało od momentu kiedy ostatni raz grałem. Generalnie, ale wydaje mi się, że Green Hell jest trudniejszy i bardziej realistyczny.
Okay, so now you're approaching, you see a train in the distance pulling in, and now you're approaching the Fat Station. So now you knew you had to reach the Fat Station, and there's a train, and you know you gotta hijack a train, but you're gonna have to get through the Fat Station first. And this is a lot of where we wanted more of the story telling us through the 2.9D camera, so we have that setup and that approach. It feels more cinematic. And here you can get an overlook, and if we look in there, this is the tanks and the whole area we're gonna have to get through. And now you're dealing with snipers. You're running across steam vents. And I'm gonna go down here. We wanted to get more of that sense of height and perspective and all that. And it also reveals secret areas that you wouldn't normally see where you can go collect goods and stuff. But we're not gonna go there right now because we're just gonna continue on and start going into the tank field because we still got to get to the pump so we can get to the train so we can complete our mission and then catch up with our buddies at the trellis area. Here's some classic Abe play where, you know, he's using steam zones to hide from the enemies and they can't see, they're kind of blind in the steam zone. So using the old Oddworld logic, if you can't see Abe barely, then neither can the enemies. And this was a way that you could have traversed to get past this slig. But if you crafted up some inventory to this point, this would have been a stealth approach with no killing happening. This would be a little more not nice approach where you might have used something a little more lethal. And that would be very nice, and you don't want to do that, of course, oops. But it's a different way to solve the same problem.
Insurance scam, Glocken style.
And along the way, we're hearing radio broadcasts that are telling us, filling us more in on the backstory, the propaganda of the world, what they're telling the common people versus what you know is actually happening in the game. So we play off of that during these elevator rides. And if you pay attention to them, you get a little more data on the backstory and what's happening in the world.
More details to follow.
We're getting now to the pump area. There's all these more physical challenges where there's Mudokons you're gonna have to get in through the pump all the way up to the train way above. So now this is like a tower of hazards, and you're gonna get more and more Mudokons to go through here with you. And you're gonna try not to get them killed, or yourself. We cabled the world, and when these cables are pulled and activated, you'll see the pulses running. So it really helped with people understanding what the problem, the puzzles were here.
in cases like this. So you're getting more and more Mudokons following you through more and more dangerous conditions. And they're stacking up more and more, and the more you get, the easier it is to get lots of them more killed, even though you shouldn't. Come on, go, 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 go. Okay. And killing them, of course, is not the best karma.
Here to break you up. Let's go.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Nie wiem, co w tej grze jest takiego. Tak mi się nie podoba, że Jezus Maria.
One survivor, he gets rescued, and from here, and look at all my dead guys, but from here, this gets us up to the area of the train station where we can now access the train that will then lead us on our mission forward. Oddworld Soulstorm is coming to the PS5, PS4, and the Epic Games Store April 6th. You can pre-purchase the game now on the Epic Games Store, and PlayStation 5 PS Plus members will be able to download the game at no extra cost.
No, proszę, do Plusa z darmo dodają.
PS4 and PS5 on April 6th.
First revealed at the Future Game Show last June, Serial Cleaners builds on the hit crime scene clean 'em up with 4 distinct cleaners and 4 distinct styles. Let's see a messier approach in our first gameplay reveal.
Jestem ciekaw, jak długo jeszcze to potrwa, ile gier zostało. Ja jutro mam konkurs. Przydałoby się wstać wcześniej i się wyspać, a tak to trochę cienko wyjdzie, jeżeli pójdę spać gdzieś koło 1:00. Ale cóż, są rzeczy ważniejsze oczywiście. Dziwny pomysł na grę, ale okej.
Grab your mop and your rubber gloves because Serial Cleaners is coming to PC later this year. You can wishlist the game on Steam and Epic Store now.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
But neither can they hear you say, whoa. Which is exactly what you'll do when you see the amazing things Frontier is doing in Elite Dangerous Odyssey.
Coś do Elitki nowego. Elitka jest dobra gra. Ja fan.
Hello, I'm Gareth Hughes from Frontier Developments and I'm the lead designer on Elite Dangerous. Right now, we're working on Elite Dangerous Odyssey, the most ambitious expansion for Elite Dangerous to date. For the first time in Elite's history, the Odyssey expansion will allow players to set foot on light atmospheric worlds powered by amazing new planetary technology. Players will be able to disembark from their ships and explore these planets, discovering new settlements and organic life forms while taking on missions and engaging in intense first-person combat. Today, we're really excited to share this exclusive footage of Apex Interstellar.
Welcome to Apex Interstellar, your gateway to the stars.
A shuttle service that will be available to all Odyssey players, allowing them to explore the galaxy in a totally new way. For a small fee, Apex Interstellar will let players book their own personal shuttle, complete with AI pilot, to take them between the ports and settlements in inhabited space.
Your shuttle is ready to depart. Thank you for choosing Apex Interstellar.
Players can even call a shuttle to pick them up directly from a planet's surface, just like you'd hail a cab. Additionally, we'd like to talk about how the release of Odyssey will give players the opportunity to experience the excitement, scale and beauty of Elite Dangerous from a brand new perspective. Odyssey's boots on the ground gameplay will add on-foot exploration, salvaging, bounty hunting, heists, and much more, all seamlessly integrated into the existing game.
No fajnie to nam wygląda, chociaż ja w Elitkę nie grałem. Generalnie kiedyś oglądałem dosyć sporo. No, ale generalnie to trochę mnie boli w tych wszystkich nie wiem czy to 4X, no w tych symulatorach takich kosmicznych, że się bardzo podobne do siebie stają. Wszędzie są planety, wszędzie są te strzelanie. Nie żeby to było złe, ale no nie wiem.
Thanks to Gareth for that look at the game. The Elite Dangerous Odyssey Alpha will be available on PC starting March 29th. Imagine what you could do with a machine that can read memories. That's the killer setup of Don't Forget Me, a new adventure game from the Moon Pirates and...
Most of my memories involve being chased by a giant mutant.
Oh, yeah. You remember that time the bug, laid eggs in you?
Ugh, we don't talk about it, Jeff.
Czemu znowu pixel art? Ja rozumiem, że inne style graficzne są drogie i w ogóle, a pixel art jest tani i w miarę prosty, ale nadal trochę za dużo go mam wrażenie. A mało, w sumie żadnej nie było takiej ładnej gry stylizowanej jakiejś, nie pixel artowej wydaje mi się. Ojej. Spanko już wchodzi. No tak, właśnie tak.
Don't Forget Me launches on PC later this year.
Next up, let's look at two new titles from movie games. The Polish studio is teaming up with Petite Image, who are famous for their work on Ubisoft and SEGA CGI movies. Look out for more info on that in the summer. And here's what movie games are working on right now.
A nie kojarzę ich tych movie games. Generalnie, ale Polacy to robią także +1 i będzie ładny cinematic, bo to Platisz i Masz robi. Dzięki Giero i do zobaczenia.
The Great War didn't start as something we were worried about. We had no idea.
O właśnie o takie mi gry chodzi, ze stylizowaną grafiką. Wygląda to świetnie. Polacy robią.
And then in the mud and drama of trench death, we learned how to survive. How to choose between life and death, because every saved life counts.
Save Humanity, już zapisuję.
Movie Games says you can look forward to hearing more on War Hospital and Fire Commander later this year.
Our next game
War Hospital.
And is finally coming to other platforms. To find out why Lost Words Beyond the Page is such a special world, let's join director Mark Backler and writer Rihanna Pratchett.
Hi, I'm Mark Backler. I'm the founder of Sketchbook Games and the creative director of Lost Words Beyond the Page.
I'm Rihanna Pratchett. I'm a writer for video games, film, TV and comics, and I wrote the script for Lost Words Beyond the Page, and I'm working on lots and lots of secret things.
At the moment, we're just putting the finishing touches to Lost Words for Steam, PS4.
Ale bym prawie wylał wodę, ale to swoją drogą.
So you play the game as Izzy, who is about sort of...
O, Easy, ojej, jak mi się to imię dobrze kojarzy. Imię, skrót bardziej od imienia. Od Izabel.
So she starts writing. She has to deal with some difficult news about her gran, who gave her the journal in the first place, and she decides to write a story to cheer her gran up.
We see her go not just on a journey through the pages of her diary, but also through the fantasy world that she's been writing about.
The story starts to kind of reflect what's happening in the real world. And we use things like the 7 stages of grief as art inspiration, as music inspiration, as puzzle inspiration. And it's basically, you know, fantasy is a lens through which we can examine the real world. And this is a very, kind of a very visual representation of that.
The two worlds in the game play into each other in a number of different ways. So the things that happen to Izzy in her real life end up having repercussions in the fantasy world. We also see these little post-it notes on the desk around the diary that sort of show the evolution of some of the characters that you'll later be bumping into in Astoria, and different ideas that Izzy has had. The game is split into like 8 main chapters. Each one of those begins in the pages of the diary and then transitions.
Ciekawy, fajny pomysł, podoba mi się nawet. Chociaż stylistycznie mi się gra nie podchodzi.
Lost Words is out on the 6th of April on Steam, PS4, Xbox One and Nintendo Switch. So you can jump onto Steam and wishlist it right now.
Thanks to Mark and Rihanna for that exclusive look. Lost Words comes to PC and consoles on April 6th, and you can wishlist it now.
In space, no one can hear you scream, but neither...
Whoa, Nicole, I already used that intro.
Oh, really? Our next world premiere is set in space, and it looks really spooky, so I just...
Cringe.
Honestly, you had me at world premiere, so you could probably just cut it there.
Jestem ciekaw, jak dużo tego jeszcze będzie. Bym trochę chciał kończyć, szczerze. Nie, żeby było jakoś bardzo nudno, jest tylko trochę nudno, bo parę fajnych gier. Ile mam otwartych kart? Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, 6 kart mam otwartych z tym, co było dzisiaj pokazane, także.
Sonic matter was discovered in the galaxy of Neteron. It was here that humans decided to build the Metal Mother facility to harvest the sonic matter, the most precious element in the universe. But it wasn't long before they discovered they were not alone.
Szkoda, że są te elementy takie trochę fantastyczne z tymi jakimiś takimi mackowatymi potworami, także no raczej nie dla mnie.
That was our first look at Haunted Space, coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S sometime in the future. One Steam review describes our next game as Reservoir Dogs with more falling over.
Well, I guess I'd be Mr. Interested.
Okay. It's time for guns, cars, and double-crossing galore in Cryptic Sea's truly unique Sub Rosa.
Ciekawie graficznie się prezentuje. O, Devolver to wydaje, to będzie dziwna gra. Ale graficznie przyjemna. Tylko to jest cinematic trailer.
Go time.
Mam wrażenie, że to będzie coś koopowego. Albo przynajmniej na kilka teamów. Bardzo fajny trailer. A jestem ciekaw, jak będzie wyglądać gra.
Sub Rosa is available right now through Steam Early Access, so you can start
No,
building
jest w Early Accessie już teraz.
Okay, I hope you have your hankies ready as we return to one of the most emotional game series of recent years. Please welcome Zach Garris, Chief Creative Officer of Deck 9 Games, to give us a new look around Haven Springs.
Jezu, to jest Life is Strange True Colors! I Steph jest! Nie mogę krzyczeć, bo jest noc, ale o kurwa!
At Deck 9 Games and the game director of Life is Strange True Colors. It's a brand new adventure in the Life is Strange universe. Coming off the heels of making Before the Storm, we wanted to explore, who we are as storytellers and what the franchise has to offer fans with new characters and a new setting, and we're really excited about it.
Well, what do you think?
I love it.
So in Life is Strange True Colors, you play as Alex Chen. Alex is a young woman who's just left the foster care system. She's had a very difficult childhood, but she's also now about to start something new, be out on her own and reunite with her older brother. Alex is not like other people, though. Alex has a supernatural sensitivity to the emotional states of others. And it's not just the ability to read or be aware of other people's emotions. If people around her are feeling rage or grief or terror, the emotion overwhelms Alex and she feels it too. It gives her an empathic connection with that person. It gives her insight into what's motivating whatever that person might be going through. Up until this point in her life, this has been a curse. This has alienated her from others. This has led to behavior people around her don't understand and probably mostly condemn.
Welcome to Haven.
Jestem ciekaw, jak ta mechanika będzie działać, jak się będzie przekładać na gameplay.
Explore having more agency given to the player in terms of where they go, who they interact with, and the ownership that they can take over the story and over Alex's engagement with that town. And so we have built out a larger space than you typically see in a Life is Strange game.
Właśnie, to będzie taki chyba semi-open world generalnie, który będzie można eksplorować w miarę dowolnie.
I'm Steph.
I'm Steph.
One of the most exciting components to Life is Strange True Colors is that Steph returns as a character.
Steph.
She was someone we discovered while making Before the Storm, a character that became a fan favorite. We wanted to really take that.
Ja mówiłem na poprzednim streamie, subreddit Life is Strange. Nowa gra, nowi bohaterowie. Steph.
The universe overall. That this is an interconnected place and that you're going to see from time to time characters from other adventures. I think part of what's really promising about the Life is
No i
Strange
oczywiście remastery.
is its
Mam
breadth,
to na tapecie.
its potential. New
Wrzucimy to na Steama,
different walks
tą
of life.
tapetę. Zrobią z tego trailera, także jak chcecie, możecie to znaleźć, obczaić.
An anthology series. And so rather than order the titles sequentially when they're not actually sequels necessarily, it made more sense to name each game according to what that story is and how that story is sort of participating in that larger universe. True Colors just fits for what Alex Chen's story becomes.
No dlatego nie ma trójki w tytule, tak?
This dude, my best friend, and this dude hands me the best beers.
When it comes to romance, Life is Strange True Colors offers players more choice than they've experienced in a Life is Strange game to date. And we're proud of that. I think we're excited about the kinds of relationships that you can develop throughout the whole town, and in particular, the relationships that you can have with both Ryan and Steph.
Mam nadzieję, że both in the same time.
And in the shape of how the player chooses to engage with them in that story can become sort of romantic interest for Alex. Life is Strange True Colors will be available in September on current and...
Ale się teraz kurwa obudziłem, ja jebie. O, nie spodziewamy się tego w ogóle.
Well, I'll be getting emotionally wrecked when Life is Strange True Colors.
Oj, dokładnie. I w ogóle to bez żadnych epizodów i będzie ten ep ze Steph i w ogóle...
5 years ago, developers LKA wowed us with their psychological horror, The Town of Light. In 2021, they return with an all-new next-gen psychological thriller. Are you ready for Martha is Dead?
W sumie ma to sens. Szkoda, że Life is Strange 2 nazywa się Life is Strange 2. Lepiej by się jakby się jednak nie nazywało Life is Strange 2, tylko jakby się nazywało Life is Strange pod tytuł. To by miało większy sens.
Not her.
Ta gra z kolei ładnie wygląda, jest jakimś horrorem, coś takie horrorowate to lekko.
The one who is living, remember?
What do you say, Irene? Julia's dead. What do you family?
Julia, is everything okay?
Martha is Dead, published by Wired Productions, comes to PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC in 2021.
Do you ever look at the state of modern civilization and think, God, I could do so much better than this?
Yeah. I mean, have you seen 2021?
Well, time to put your money where your mouth is in Amplitude Studios' historical strategy epic, Humankind.
A ten Humankind ja gdzieś mam załyszlistowanych. Przyjemnie wygląda. Konkurencja oczywiście dla Civki.
Amplitude wanted to create these huge, amazing fighting games. Games that would dust off the genre we love so much. In Humankind, you have one main innovation, which is the ability to create your own civilization out of 60 different cultures.
The idea is that we give the player these historically accurate bricks, and they go and build whatever story they want to.
In history, we always had a group of people close to each other. With Diplomacy, we want to give you all these tools to be able to interact with these empires, to create a bond and a link, to create these alliances or have to go to war with them.
What was really important for Diplomacy was the stories that players would tell each other. If you look at, say, the First World War, what happened, it wasn't a direct engagement immediately. There was a lot of people getting roped in, alliances playing off against each other, negotiations. So, in order to be historically authentic, we needed to add a little bit more, more tools in the player's toolbox, things like bribe or propose, threaten, demand. We want things to feel, nicely immediate. We don't want to have sort of a round-robin vote of everyone deciding what to do. We want you to get feedback interactions to make things feel nicely, quick, immediate, impactful. Your civilization needs resources in order to build units, to build infrastructures, and to boost its economy. You can acquire these resources either aggressively, by claiming territory and exploiting them yourself, or you can buy them from another civilization.
When a civilization's choices create a situation that is deemed offensive or otherwise unacceptable by another, a grievance is generated, transferring control of a border territory, paying a sum of money, changing a law or religion, joining a war, and so on. If the demand is refused, it can be used to justify declaring a war or breaking an alliance.
Once two civilizations have declared war, they'll need to think about their population's support for this war, or morale. This is a value that will tend to decrease over time because people get fed up with fighting a conflict. You can also
Ciekawe, tych wszystkich mechanik nie ma w Civkach na przykład. I to zdecydowanie doda taki trochę next level. Trochę więcej też mikrozarządzania, ale będzie też bardziej realistyczne.
The civics that you choose will define your empire's ideology. So depending on these choices, I'll have an ideology that will be defined. Based on this proximity, it will be more or less difficult to go to war or to sign peace treaties. So, for instance, two civilizations that are very close will have trouble maintaining a war, but it'll be a lot easier to sign treaties because the populations feel a certain sort of brotherhood.
In the diplomacy of humankind, the possibilities are endless. You want to create a culture that will attract the sympathy of all these other empires? Will you be feared by your neighbors? It's up to you to decide how you will mark history as a leader.
Ciekawe, ciekawe. No mówię, ja tą grę mam już gdzieś tam zawishlistowaną i być może sobie sprawdzę na premierę. W sensie gdzieś pooglądam raczej.
Okay, that one I can't wait to get my hands on. What have we got coming up next, Nicole?
Our next game was the breakout star of last month's PlayStation State of Play.
O właśnie, to była jedyna fajna gra na State of Play ostatnim.
Please welcome developers Slow Clap.
Hi, I'm Pierre. I'm from Slow Clap Studio, an independent game studio based in Paris, France. In Sifu, you play the role of a young Kung Fu student who is on a path for revenge after his whole family was assassinated by a squad of 5 mysterious assassins. And you will be on the hunt for the assassins of your family through 5 main environments. And as you move through these levels, you will have to use every tool at your disposal, whether it's your Kung Fu skills or everything that's in the environment to survive and prevail in dangerous combat situations. So you may have seen our real trailer in the recent State of Play, and today we're excited to share some more information about the game regarding combat. As you progress through the game, you will encounter 5 bosses who are all connected to you and who are basically the assassins of your family. These 5 bosses have been inspired by Kung Fu values and the 5 elements of Chinese mythology. So this is wood, fire, water, metal, and earth. As you saw in the trailer, when your character dies, he revives instantly where they fell, and when your character revives, your character will age every time. Kung Fu means literally mastery through practice, and this is really an important theme of the game because
Ciekawy pomysł. Znaczy, ta gra jakoś bardzo mnie nie porwyła. To była najlepsza gra na PlayStation State of Play ostatnim. No i to pokazuje, że tamten State of Play był słaby. No ale tak, no nie wygląda źle, jest ciekawa.
To how much you can age, of course, and I think we'll be discussing more about what exactly happens when you do have that game over in the coming weeks and months prior to launch. Sifu will be released in 2021 on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and on the Epic Game Store.
No nie jest to złe.
Everyone will be kung fu fighting when Sifu hits PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5 later in 2021. And that brings our spring showcase to an end.
W końcu, trochę już czekałem.
Whoa, Nicole, come on. Look, we can't end it there. In true Resident Evil fashion, there's always got to be one final boss form to fight.
You're right. Okay. Yeah, I can find one more surprise. Roll the tape.
Okej, no jeszcze na koniec jakaś duża niespodzianka. Chyba, nie wiem. Zobaczymy. Kina? O, Bridge of Spirits. Mój brat to bardzo chce kupić generalnie.
You sense the power that flows through this land. Yet you do not fully understand it.
Ta giera bardzo fajnie wygląda, jakoś bardzo mnie się nie pali, żeby ją kupić, ale no mój brat chce, także pewnie ją będę miał.
No power here. Kenna.
Hi.
pride is a lonely one.
No mnie ta gra jakoś bardzo nie porywa, szczerze. Także no. No i na tym kończymy. Z tego, co było powiedziane.
That definitely wraps up our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Special thank you to Nicole, and a very, very special thank you to the amazing developers who helped make this happen.
You can head over to the Future Game Show page on Steam to add your favorite games from today's show to your wish list. And
O, fajnie, to będzie wszystko w jednym miejscu.
for all of your news, guides, and features.
I'm Jeff Shine.
And I'm Nicole Tompkins. And this has been the third Future Game Show.
No dobra, także kończymy. Generalnie no nie było tak do końca źle. Mam zapisane 6 gier. Life of Delta, ale to tak The Arctic Awakening bardzo mi się podobało. Pierwsza gra, jaka została pokazana. Of Breed and Cage też wygląda ciekawie. Game Deck też się prezentował fajnie. Endling i także ten War Hospital. Ja to sobie na pewno wszystko połyszlistuję, bo mi się te gry podobają. No oczywiście jeszcze było True Colors, ale to już mam kupiony pre-order z edycją Ultimate. Za 330 zł kupiłem, wiecie tam. No, w każdym razie, tak to by się nam prezentowało. Mamy tutaj jeszcze małe podsumowanie wszystkich gier, jakie były pokazane. Ja będę kończyć już generalnie, bo jutro muszę wstać na ten konkurs i w ogóle dobrze by się było coś jeszcze poduczyć. No tak szczerze, mam nadzieję, że się podobało. Najbliższy jakiś stream to będą DICE Awards, ale one dopiero chyba 22 kwietnia, czyli to jeszcze sporo czasu. Gdzieś tam na kanale pojawiły się informacje, będzie info na tej na pewno playliście Archiwum Live. Tam się wszystkie te rzeczy pojawią, no i też jakby ktoś chciał zobaczyć powtórkę, również będzie ona tam dostępna. Także dobra, to się już chyba skończyło oficjalnie, dokładnie. Tak więc już mam nadzieję, że się podobało. No i do zobaczenia na kolejnych streamach. Już nawet nie zostałem żadnej muzyki, bo chcę iść spać. Także dobranoc, papa, trzymajcie się i cześć.